Hello students, today I would like to explain the mathematics question paper related to JEE Mains 2020 held on September 3rd first shift. Okay. This is the question. Limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos of x square by 2 into 1 minus cos of x square by 4 whole divided by x power 8 is equals to 2 power minus k. Then you have to find out the value of k. Limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos of x square by 2 into 1 minus cos of x square by 4 whole divided by x power 8 is what? 2 to the power of minus k. You have to find out the value of k. Now, before going to do this problem, we have one very important result or problem say limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos theta or cos x by x square is what? Half. Limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos x by x square is half, because by multiplying dividing by 1 plus cos x we get sin square x by x square is 1 by 1 plus 1, that is 1 by 2. With the help of this formula, let us try to do this one. This can be written as limit x tends to 0, I am writing in this manner, 1 minus cos x square by 2 by x square by 2 whole square. Instead of x, I am writing x square here. Again, 1 minus cos square by 4 whole divided by x square by 4 whole square. So to compensate this one, x power 4, x power 4, x power 8 is there. So we have to write 2 square again. You have to write 4 square. That means 2 power 4. So this is what now 1 by 2. Limit x tends to 0, we mean x square by tends to also 0. This is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 square, 1 by 2 cube into, this is also 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 power 4, 1 by 2 to the power of 5. This is nothing but 1 by 2 to the power of 8. So this is 2 power minus 8. What they are given to you? 2 power minus k. Implies the value of k is equals to 8. Am I correct or not? So the value of k is equals to 8. This is the simplest formula you have here. Or otherwise you can write 1 minus cos theta as 2 sin square theta by 2, and then you can apply the formula. In the same manner we obtain the value of k as 8. So limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos x by x square is half. Very simple formula. We are using here, we get the answer k as 8. So up to this is what? 1 by 2. Here is also 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 square into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 power 4. It is nothing but 1 by 2 power 8. The value of k is 8. See this one. 2 to the power of 1 by 2 plus 5 power 1 by 8 whole power n has 33 integral terms. So it has so many terms, maybe, but the integral terms are only 33. Then we have to find out the least value of n. Then you have to find out the least value of n. So what is the given binomial expression? 2 to the power of 1 by 2 plus 5 power 1 by 8 whole to the power of n is there. We know that to get the number of rational terms, integral terms, the formula is of p comma q, n by LCM of p comma q plus 1. What? A into x power p 1 by p plus b into y power 1 by q whole to the power of n. Suppose your expression is in this manner, the number of rational terms is obtained by capital N by LCM of p comma q plus 1 if at least one of p comma q divides n. If This is of the form a x power 1 by p plus b into y power 1 by q whole to the power of n. Your expression is of the form the number of integral terms is obtained by the formula n by LCM of p comma q plus 1. So the powers must be integers. N by LCM of p comma q plus 1, that is given as 33. So your capital N is n here. LCM of p comma q, LCM of 2 comma 8 is 8, box is equals to 32. So the least value of n is obtained by 8 into 32. $256. So the value of n is what? 256. It may be multiples of 32. You get the value, the least value is 256 here. So 2 to the power of 1 by 2 plus 5 power 1 by 8 whole to the power of n has 33 integral terms. Then the least value of n is obtained in this manner. So the formula is what here? N by LCM of p comma q plus 1 is equals to 33. If you don't write plus 1 here, if there is no common value, that is LCM of at least one of them, 2 comma 8 must and should be divisible by n, then only you have to write 1 here. Any one of them is not divisible by n, you don't write 1. If you are not writing 1 means the 33 will be erased here. So n by 8 is equals to 33 will be there. N is more. At that time we get more value of n. We have to find out the least value of n. That is why I am choosing plus 1 here. That means at least 1 of p comma q divides n. I am choosing. Okay. See this one. The center of circle lies on x plus y equal to 3. Your circle center lies on what? X plus y equal to 3 and touching the lines x equal to 3 and y equal to 3. Y equal to 3 is the line parallel to x axis, x equal to 3 is the line parallel to y axis above 3 units and right side to the 3 units. Then the diameters of circle, the diameter of circle is what? You have to find out the length of the diameter of the circle. See here, I would like to draw the figure first of all. This is the line y is equals to 3, say. And this is the line x is equals to 3. Immediately their point of 3 comma 3. This is the line x plus y is equals to 3. Your circle center lies on this line and it touches these two lines x equal to 3 and y equal to 3. So the circle may be in this manner. This is the center of the circle. Okay. You may take it one as center of the circle. Now we have to find out the diameter of the circle. Now if you take this one as center, draw two perpendiculars in this manner. What is the center form? 3 minus r comma 3 minus r form. Am I correct or not? If you take radius as r, then 3 units left side, 3 units down. Therefore 3 minus r comma 3 minus r. It lies on what? X plus y equal to 3. Substitute the point in this line. 3 minus r plus 3 minus r is equals to 3. So 2r is equals to 3 implies r is equals to 3 by 2. The value of r is equals to 3 by 2, we mean diameter. Itself we obtain the diameter 3 implies diameter d is equals to 3 units. Simply we can say that. Or we can draw the lines parallel to in this manner. This is the line touches both the coordinate axis having radius 3 by 2 units, because if it is r units, this is r units, then the lines are two lines which are parallel and touches the circle. The distance between these two lines gives the diameter itself. So length of the diameter from y is equal to 0 to y equal to 3 itself 3. we obtain the diameter in this manner. So by given information itself, if you draw the diagram, you are obtaining the d value as 3, or otherwise you just imagine the coordinate axis, they must and should be lie in this manner. We can find easily the diameter by distance between the y equal to 0 to y equal to 3 or x equal to 0 to x equal to 3. Okay. See this one, this is related to mathematical reasoning question. One question must and should be asked in your JEE. The preposition P implies negation of P and negation of Q is equivalent to what? Which is equivalent to what? This is the question. So to solve this question, we have to know this equality. P implies Q is equivalent to negation of P or Q. P implies Q is equivalent to negation of P or Q. I am going to apply this condition to this one. This one has taken this one entire thing as Q. P implies Q is what? Negation of P. So P is P here. So the entire value, the entire expression is equivalent to negation of P or Q. You have to write Q as the entire thing. What is that? Negation of P and negation of Q. So this is nothing but negation of P or I am applying a negation to this one. Negation of P or negation of negation, that is Q. So negation of P or negation of P or Q, no need to write the bracket itself. This is equivalent to what? Negation of P or negation of P or Q. A union A is nothing but A. So this is equivalent to negation of P or Q. So negation of P or Q is your correct answer. So to crack this one, what is the formula you have to know? This is the formula you have to know. P implies Q is equivalent to negation of P or Q. Then immediately we obtain the result. Understand? Or otherwise you have to write the table, truth table for this one. Again also write the truth table for the options. Which truth tables are coincident, then that will be the answer. That is the alternative method. See here, this is related to logarithms. The value of this one is what? Here, what is this? This is geometric progression, infinite geometric progression with the common ratio 1 by 3. Right? 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cube and so on up to infinity. What is its sum now? A by 1 minus R. The sum is obtained by the formula A by 1 minus R. A is first term, R is the common ratio. So this value is nothing but 0.16 whole to the power of log of, what is the value? A 1 by 3 by 1 minus R, 1 minus 1 by 3. R is also 1 by 3. 1 by 3 square by 3, 1 by 3. To the base 2.5. This can be, this 0.16 can be written as 16 by 100. Am I correct or not? Whole to the power of log of 1 by 3 by 2 by 3. 1 by 2 2.5. Now, this is nothing but 4 4s, 4 25s. This is nothing but 2 by 5 whole square. This is nothing but 2 by 5 whole square power log 1 by 2 to the base 5 by 2. To the base 5 by 2. Am I correct or not? This is nothing but 2 by 5. 2.5 means 5.5 by 2. Power minus 2 if you write this one as minus 1. Whole to the power of log of 2 to the power of minus 1 to the base 5 by 2. This is nothing but 5 by 2 power 5 by 2 power 2 by 5 power minus 1 is nothing but 5 by 2 power minus 2 log 2 power minus 1 to the base 5 by 2. So when you take minus 2 as power, this is nothing but 2 square. So 5 by 2 power log 4 to the base 5 by 2. This is nothing but 4. A power, we have the formula, a power log m to the base a is m. So I am going to convert this expression in the form we obtain m, that is your 4. Am I correct or not? So the entire problem you have to write 0.16 as 2 by 5 whole to the power of minus 1 whole power minus 2. Then only we can crack this problem immediately. Again your 2.5 is nothing but what? 5. 5 by 2 means 2.5. This is what? 2 by 5 whole square. Okay. This is geometric progression, infinite number of terms, summation is a by 1 minus r. Once if you know all these things, you can easily derive this one. Now, this is the question related to definite integrals. We have to evaluate this one. Integral minus pi to pi modulus of pi minus modulus of x dx, which is equal to what? Now, I am writing this expression as minus pi to 0. In this interval, mod x is what? Minus x. That is modulus of pi minus of minus plus x dx plus 0 to pi. 0 to pi mod x is positive. That is x pi minus x dx. So, by definition of mod x, I am going to split in this manner. Observe that in minus pi to 0, pi plus x is positive or negative? Yes, it is positive. So, this can be written as integral minus pi to 0, pi plus x dx plus 0 to pi. This is again modulus here. Modulus will be removed because in the interval 0 to pi, pi minus x is positive. So, you have to write 0 to pi, pi minus x dx. You treat this one as x. What is the integration of x? X square by 2. So, pi plus x whole square by 2, limits from minus pi to 0, plus pi minus x whole square by 2. This one you have to write here because the integration of pi minus x is what? Minus 1. You have to write here 0 to pi. By simplification itself, we get the required answer. By substitute 0 here, what happened? Pi square by 2. This is nothing but pi square by 2. When you substitute minus pi, pi minus pi 0, no need to write that one. Plus, again put pi here. Pi means what here? Pi minus pi 0. 0 square means 0, something that is 0. Now substitute minus of this minus, plus. We obtain plus here. So, pi minus 0, pi square by 2, you have to write again. So, you know, first term is 0. You have to, when you substitute the lower limit, minus will be there. That minus into this minus plus. So, pi square by 2 plus pi square by 2. This is nothing but pi square. The answer is pi square. So, once if you know the modulus of x definition, you can easily crack this one. Mod x is equal to x if x greater than or equal to 0, is equal to minus x if x less than 0. Okay. See this one. Integration of x is x square by 2. But why you are writing minus here? You treat this one as t. You have to write its derivative in the denominator. Integration of ax plus b whole to the power of n. Ax plus b whole to the power of n dx. What is that? Ax plus b whole to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1 into 1 by a. Okay. See this one. This is the question related to inverse trigonometric functions. 2 pi minus of something is what? This is the question. Dear students, sin inverse x plus sin inverse y, tan inverse x plus tan inverse y, cot inverse x plus cot inverse y, cos inverse x plus cos inverse y. Among these, very easy formula related to them, to club them, is tan inverse. X plus y equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y by 1 minus tan inverse 1 minus tan xy. So tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is very easy to you. This is what? Tan inverse of x plus y by 1 minus xy. Am I correct or not? It is easy to apply. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y equal to tan inverse of x plus y by 1 minus xy. Everyone is cute here. No need to write pi plus pi minus like that. So I am converting to each sin inverse into tan inverse. So sin inverse 4 by 5. Sin, this is 4, 5, this is nothing but 3. So 2 pi minus tan inverse 4 by 3. This is tan inverse 4 by 3 plus, again you write one triangle, sin inverse 5 by 13. This is 5, it is 13 automatically, this will be 13, 12. So tan inverse of 5 by 12. How can you write this one? If you prepare, this is 16, 65, I think this is 63. Okay, right angle triangle. Plus tan inverse of 16 by 63. Now we are converting the sin inverses into tan inverses. Now it is very easy to apply the summation. Tan inverse A plus tan inverse B equal to tan inverse of A plus B by 1 minus AB. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y equal to tan inverse of x plus y by 1 minus xy. So 2 pi minus, I am applying the formula for these two. Tan inverse A plus B 4 by 3 plus 5 by 12 by 1 minus 4 by 3 into 5 by 12 plus tan inverse of 16 by 63. 2 pi minus of tan inverse of, we take the LCM as 12, 4 5s are 20 plus this is 5, 4 by 3 plus 5 by 12. I am taking as 36. If you take the LCM as 36, 12 4s 48 plus 12, 3s, 3 5s are 15. Whole divided by 36. This is 36 minus what here? So this is nothing but 63 by 16 plus this can be written as cot inverse of 63 by 16. Am I correct or not? Take LCM as 36. This is 63 by 16. Here also 63 by 16, but I am writing in this manner cot inverse. See here, tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is what? Pi by 2. So to get the pi by 2, we are doing in this manner. 2 pi minus pi by 2 is your answer. 2 pi minus pi by 2. 2 pi minus pi by 2 is nothing but 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2 is your answer. So only the logic behind this problem is you have to convert this sin inverse to tan inverse and again apply tan inverse x plus cot inverse x as pi by 2 and tan inverse of A plus B is nothing but tan inverse of A plus B by 1 minus AB. Okay. Next. See this one. This is the question related to geometry. Ellipse and hyperbola concepts are involved here. X square by 4 plus y square by 3 equal to 1 is an ellipse and a hyperbola which is confocal with the ellipse. Confocal means both of them have same foci. Confocal with the ellipse such that its transverse axis is root 2. Then which of the following point does not lies on the hyperbola? Does not. You have to catch this point. Which of does not lies on your hyperbola? So what you have to find out? First of all, you have to find out the equation of the hyperbola. That means here some ellipse is given to you. These are the foci of the ellipse. One hyperbola is in this manner. Their foci are coincident. And what is given to you? Length of the transverse axis is given to you, that is root 2. Here to here is length of the transverse axis. This is the transverse axis, root 2. This is the distance between the two foci. Transverse axis, we mean 2a. 2a is equal to root 2, we mean a is equals to 1 by root 2. Both of them have same foci, means distance between the two foci is same. So, what are the foci of the ellipse now? The foci of ellipse are plus or minus root of a square minus b square minus 3 comma 0. AE is nothing but root of a square minus b square. We mean plus or minus 1 comma 0. Distance between the two foci is what? 2AE, that is equals to 2 units. 2 gets cancelled. Now, A is what here? 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 E is equal to 1. We mean E is equal to root 2. Eccentricity of hyperbola is root 2. We mean the hyperbola must and should be rectangular hyperbola. For rectangular hyperbola, A is equals to B. So already we have A as 1 by root 2. Your B is also 1 by root 2. Implies B is also 1 by root 2. So what is the hyperbola equation? X square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. We mean x square minus y square equal to a square. X square minus y square equal to a square. A square or b square? 1 by 2. 1 by root 2 whole square is 1 by 2. This is your required equation of hyperbola. Now you have to check which one does not lies on this one. 1 square means 1, 1 by root 2 whole square means 1 by 2, 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2. This is point on the hyperbola, so it is not correct option. In the same manner, minus root 3 by 2 whole square means 3 by 2, minus 1, this is also 1 by 2. This is lies on your hyperbola, so it is not correct option. Consider this one, root 3 by 2 whole square means 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2. 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 means what? 2 by 2, that is 1. 1 not equals to 1 by 2, this is the point which does not lies on our hyperbola, so it is our correct option. So after finding the hyperbola equation, this is very easy for you. Root 3 by 2 and 1 by 2 is not lies on my hyperbola, that is why this is our correct option. Does not is there. So you have to read question thoroughly. Suppose which point, if you feel which of the point lies on hyperbola, you get two options, the student may be confused. The reading of the question is also very, very important. Which of the point does not lies on your required curve? Your required curve is here, hyperbola. So the only logic is the distance between the two foci of two conics are same because the foci are coincident here. What is the distance between two foci? 2AE. Okay. These are the foci of the ellipse. Plus or minus AE comma 0. AE means what here? Root of a square minus b square. By a gets cancelled. You get root of a square minus b square. In this manner we can crack this one. See this one. This is the question related to what? Differential equations. The equation of curve satisfying the differential equation and also passing through the point 0 comma 1. So there is no ambiguity here. Once if you know how to solve this one, you can easily write. So first of all, you have to choose this question whether it is possible to separate the variables or not, or it becomes a linear differential equation or exact differential equation or homogeneous differential equation or non-homogeneous. You have to choose in this manner. I think it is very easy to separate the variables. Okay, 1 plus y square by y square dy is equal to e power x by e power x plus 1 dx. So the variables are separated or not? Yes, the variables are separated. Now taking integration on both sides. What is the integration of 1 by y square minus 1 by y? What is 1 here? Gets cancelled. Integration of 1 dy is y plus y is equal to what is the derivative of e power x plus 1? It is e power x. The derivative of 1 is 0, e power x derivative e power x. E power x plus 1 by e power x plus 1. F dash x by f of x. It is of the form, then its integration is log of e power x plus 1. Log of f of x. Log mod e power x plus 1 plus c, you have to write. This is integral constant. From this equation, we have to calculate the constant by substitution of the point 0, 1. X for 0, y for 1. So, minus 1 plus 1 is equal to log of what here? E power 0, 1. 1 plus 1, 2 plus c. Minus 1 plus 1 gets cancelled. What is your c value? Minus log 2. C is minus log 2. Y square minus 1 by y is equals to log of e power x plus 1 minus log 2. This is nothing but log of e power x plus 1 whole divided by 2. Log m minus log n can be written as log m by n. So, your answer is y square minus 1 is equal to y times of log of e power x plus 1 by 2. So, very simple problem. This is related to variable separable. Okay. See this question. This is the question related to probability. A pair of dice is thrown and sum of dice comes up 4. This is given to you. This event is given to you. Sum of dice comes up multiple of 4. A pair of dice is rolled. 2 dice are thrown. What they are observed? They observe that the sum of the dice is multiple of 4. Then you have to find out the probability that at least one of the die show 4. At least one of the die show 4. So, the first event is say A, capital A, and the second event is say B. At least one. We have to find out this one. That means by the conditional probability, we have to find out the probability of B by A. A is the given event, B is your required event. When A happens, what is the probability of B? That is, they are asking. Probability of B by A, they are asking. What is the formula for probability of B by A? Probability of B intersection A by probability of A, by definition of the conditional probability. Now let us find probability of A and probability of A intersection B. What is A event here? A is the event such a way that sum of the digits on the die must and should be multiple of 4. Sum must and should be multiple of 4. What is the minimum sum here? 2. When 2 dice are thrown, the sum of the minimum is 2, maximum is 12. From 2 to 12, what are the numbers which are multiple of 4? The numbers which are multiple of 4 are 4, 8, 12. So, the sum must and should be either 4 or 8 or 12. When 2 dice are thrown, sum is 4. How many possibilities are there? 3 possibilities. Sum is 8. How many possibilities are there? 13 minus 8. 5 possibilities. Sum is 12. 13 minus 12. That is only one possibility. That is 6, 6. So, 6. Their probabilities are what? By 36, by 36, by 36. We mean what? 8. 1, sorry, here it is only 1. Sum 12, there is only 1. 3 plus 5, 8 plus 1, 9 by 36. Leave this one. Here we obtain probability of A. This is probability of A. Okay. Sum is either 4 or 8 or 12. In this situation, one of the die must and should be divisible by 4. At least one of the die show 4, not divisible. One of the die show 4. So, when sum is 4, is it one of the die 4? No. One of the die 4 means other die shows 0. It is not possible. Sum 12 means dice must and should be so 6. So, 6 will be only one possibility. There is no 4. It is also failed. So, the only one possibility is 8. Sum is 8. One die show 4 means what are the conditions? 4 comma 4 will be appear. So how many possibilities should be there? Only one possibility. So the numbers summation is divisible by 4. At that time, one of the die show 4, we mean the possibility is one and only, that is 4 comma 4. So what is probability of B intersection A? Probability of B intersection A is equals to 1 by 36. So the required probability is what? 1 by 36 whole divided by 9 by 36. So your answer is what? 1 by 9. In this manner we can easily crack this one. So read the question thoroughly 2 or 3 times. Then what is the given event? What we are going to find out? What is given? This is A is given to you. You have to find out probability of B when A happened. When A is happened. So probability of B by A is nothing but probability of B intersection A by probability of A. And we can easily write this one. Okay. See here, this is the question related to complex numbers. It is also very easy for you. Read once again. 1 plus I by 1 minus I whole to the power of m by 2 is equals to 1 plus I by 1 minus I whole to the power of n by 3 is equals to 1, where m and n belongs to natural numbers, and you have to find out the HCF of m comma n. You have to find out the value of HCF of m comma n. All of you know that 1 plus I by 1 minus I, 1 plus I by 1 minus I is nothing but I. Am I correct or not? 1 plus I by 1 minus I. You just multiplying numerator and denominator with 1 plus I, we can easily get I. Because 1 plus I whole square by 1 minus I square. I square means minus 1 minus of minus plus 1, that is 2. 1 plus I square plus 2I. I square is minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled. 2I by 2, we mean I. Everyone you know, 1 plus I by 1 minus I is nothing but I. So I power m by 2 is equal to 1 plus I by 1 minus I, that is I, whole to the power of n by 3 is equal to 1. I power something must be 1 means the least power is 4. I power 4 minus 1 square, that is nothing but 1. So this must and should be 4, as well as this is also 4 for the least values of m comma n. So m by 2 is equal to 4 and n by 3 is also 4. M is equal to 4 into 2 and n is equal to 4 into 3. Now what is HCF? What is the highest common factor? By looking at m and n, 4. 4 is the highest common factor. HCF of m comma n is equals to 4. Very simple question. Once if you know this one as 1 plus I by 1 minus I as I, and I power 4 is 1. This is the least value for n. N is equal to 4, that is 1. 16, I power 16 is also 1, but we need least value. Okay, m comma n belongs to n. Find the highest common factor of m comma n for least values of m comma n. This is important here. For the least values of m comma n. The least values of m comma n are obtained by taking this one as 4 and this one as 4. And HCF is 4. Okay. See this one. The area enclosed by 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to x square plus 1 and 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to x plus 1 and 1 by 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. So these are two curves and this is the region for x. So we have to find out the area enclosed by these three curves. 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to x square plus 1. By taking equalities, first of all we draw the figure. X axis, this is y axis. Y is equal to x square plus 1. Y is equal to x square plus 1. We mean x square is equal to y minus 1. represents a parabola with vertex at what 0, 1, axis along y-axis. So this is the parabola. And what is your line? Y is equal to x plus 1. Y equal to x plus 1. By equating both values of y, we get their points of intersection. We mean x square plus 1 is equal to x plus 1. Both of them cancel, therefore either x is equals to 0 or x is equal to 1. When x is equals to 0, y is equal to 1. When x equal to 1, y is equals to 2. So their points of intersections are what? 0, 1 and 1, 2. What is 0, 1? One of the vertex, that is vertex of your parabola. So this is my line. One of the point of intersection is vertex of my parabola and other one is 1, 2. This is the next point of intersection, 1, 2. So this is equation y-axis, that is x is equal to 0, this is x equal to 1. Okay. So what is the another line? X is equals to 1 by 2 I draw here. See here, x square plus 1, y is less than or equal to x square plus 1. So the portion will be like this, y less than or equal to x plus 1 below the line. So their common portion will be like this up to here, and also they are given to you. This is the line x is equals to 1 by 2. X equal to 1 by 2 and x equal to 2 may be here. So your area must and should be lies between in this region. So the required area as like this in this portion. That is your required area is in this manner. This is your required area. This is your required area. Am I correct or not? In this manner we have to draw this figure. Now the line is 1 by 2 to 2. This is x equal to 2. Even though they intersect here, so this is the parabola, this is the line. Among the two lines, x equal to 1 by 2, here x is equals to 1. So from figure itself, the required area is nothing but integral 1 by 2 to 1, upper curve minus lower curve. What is y here? X plus 1, about x-axis. X plus 1 minus of what? X square plus 1. Plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled. Integral 1 by 2 to 1 x minus x square dx. So the integration of x is x square by 2 minus x cube by 3, limits from 1 by 2 to 1. By substituting 1 here, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3, minus of 1 by 2 square, 1 by 4 by 2, 1 by 8, minus 1 by 8 into 3, that is 24. So this is nothing but 1 by 6, minus of LCM is 24, 3 minus 1, 2. This is 1 by 12, 1 by 6 minus 1 by 12, we mean 1 by 12. So your answer is 1 by 2, 12 square units. 1 by 12 square units is the required area. So you have to read thoroughly the question. Y less than or equal to x square plus 1, we mean the entire portion like this. Y less than or equal to x plus 1 below the line. So their common interval should be like this. But what they are given to you, 1 by 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. So the area must and should be lies between these two lines. So the required portion up to here only. So integral 1 by 2 to 1, upper curve minus lower curve, that is x plus 1 minus x square plus 1. In this manner we can crack this problem. Next one, A is equal to x comma 1 matrix x1 1 0 and A power 4 is equal to Aij of order 2 by 2, A11 is equals to 109, then we have to find out A22. Aij, it is the square matrix of order 2, first element, first row, first column element is given to you, that is 109. You have to find out the value of the second row, second column element. A22 you have to find out. What is your matrix A? x 1 1 0, 2 by 2 matrix. So you have to find out a power 4, no shortcut, but you may remove two elements, a21 a12, a12 a21 may be delete from a power 4 itself. Let us to do this one. First of all, you have to find a square, x1 1 0 into x1 1 0. This is nothing but x square plus 1, x into x square, 1 plus, that is plus 1, x into 1 x plus 0, that is x, 1 into x plus 0, this is x, 1 into 1 1 plus 0 1, this is a square. Now a power 4 is nothing but a square whole square, a square into a square, x square plus 1 x x1, x square plus 1 x x1. Now just I am going to write a11 and a22 here, x square plus 1 into x square plus 1, x square plus 1 whole square plus x square. This is a11. Next a22 is what? X into x square plus 1. Just leave them. Now its value is given to you. What is its value? 109. So x square plus 1 whole square plus x square is equal to 109. From this equation you can calculate x square value. Substitute here, we get 82. That is my idea. So this is nothing but x square whole square plus 1 plus 2x square plus x square, 3x square minus 109 equal to 0. We mean x square whole square plus 3x square minus 108 equal to 0. 12 nines, that is x square whole square minus 9x square minus 1 equal to 0. X square times of x square plus 12 minus 9 times of x square plus 12 equal to 0. X square plus 12 never 0. Therefore, x square is equals to 9. The value of x square should be 9. When x square equal to 9, what is a22? The value of a22 is nothing but x square plus 1. We mean 9 plus 1, that is 10. a22 is equals to 10. Here, I explain once again to you, x square plus 1 whole square plus x square is equals to 109. So a plus b whole square form, x square whole square plus 1 plus x square, 2x square plus x square, that is 3x square minus 109 equal to 0. X square whole square plus 3x square minus equal to 0. 12 minus 9, that gives 3. 12 nines are 108. So x square whole square plus 12x square minus 9x square minus 108 equal to 0. After factorization, immediately we obtain x square equal to 9 because x square plus 12 never 0. So x square is equal to 9. You just substitute the value of x square as 9. Here itself we get 10. X square plus 1 is what? 10. Okay. See this one. This is the question related to limits. Limit extends to 0, modulus of 1 minus x plus mod x by lambda minus x plus box x. This is modulus function. This is greatest integer function. Box x, greatest integer function is L. Find the value of L where lambda belongs to R minus 0, 1. So when modulus is involving here, you have to write left limit and right limit. Now I am going to write limit extends to 0 minus. So limit of 0 minus you are going to find out. That is modulus of 1 minus x plus mod x by lambda minus x plus box x. What is the value here? Limit extends to 0. Mod x is what here? Minus x. 0 minus. We are approaching 0 from the left side. So we have 1 minus x by lambda minus x. What about box x value? 0 minus. That is, we are approaching 0 from the left side, that is negative. Box of some small negative value gives minus 1. It is modulus. As x tends to 0, what happened? That is 1 by lambda minus 1. Modulus of 1 by lambda minus 1. This is your left hand limit. Again we have tried right hand limit. Limit x tends to 0 plus modulus of 1 minus x plus mod x by lambda minus x plus box x. We are approaching 0 from the right side. Mod x is x. That is limit x tends to 0 modulus of 1 minus x plus x by lambda minus x. What about box? So it is small value lies between 0 and 0.1 like that. Its box value is 0. So plus x minus x gets cancelled. As x tends to 0, it becomes what? 1 by lambda modulus. Limit. That is why both left hand limit is equals to the right hand limit. So modulus of 1 by lambda minus 1 is equal to modulus of 1 by lambda. We mean modulus of lambda minus 1 equal to modulus of lambda. For taking both positive, lambda gets cancelled, minus 1 never 0. So we have to take lambda minus 1 is equal to minus lambda, 2 lambda equal to 1, lambda is equals to 1 by 2. So your lambda must and should be 1 by 2. Then what is my limit value? Modulus of 1 by lambda, that is 2. So 1 by 2, that is your 2. So the answer is 2. So as x tends to 0 minus, box x is what? As x tends to 0 plus, what about box x? So once if you know establish the mod x and box x, then the problem is very easy for you. When it becomes minus x, when it becomes x for mod x, when it becomes 0, when it becomes minus 1. These are necessary to crack this one. See this one. This is related to differentiation problem. So in your JEE exams, this type of questions frequently asked. Y square plus log of cos square x is equal to y. Then which of the following is true? Y double dash 0 equal to 2. Y dash 0 modulus plus y double dash 0 is equal to 1. In this manner they are asking. So what is your function? Is it an implicit or explicit? So y square plus log of cos square x is equal to y. So x and y are mixed here. Y square plus log of cos square x is equal to y. So to get y double dash, differentiate with respect to x on both sides. First of all, 2y y dash plus differentiating with respect to x. Log x, the derivative is 1 by cos square x. Derivative of cos square x, 2 cos x into minus sin x is equal to y dash. So 1 cos gets cancelled. Sin by cos, tan, minus 2 tan x implies 2y y dash plus into minus 2 tan x is equal to y dash. We want to find out y double dash at 0. First you have to find out y dash at 0. When x is equal to 0, what about value of y first of all? When x equal to 0, what are the possible values of y? Y square log 1 is 0. Y square equal to y implies either y is equal to 0 or y equal to 1. So the possibilities are 0, 0, 0, 1. Now for 0, 0, what about y dash at 0? X is 0, either your y value may be either 0 or 1. What about for 0, 0, y dash at 0? For 0, 0, y dash at 0 is what I am asking. Put x is equal to 0, y equal to 0. 2 times of 0 for 0, 0 I am testing. Minus 2 times 0, this is also 0, is equal to y dash at x equal to 0. So y at x is equal to 0 is 0. For x equal to 0, y equal to 0. For x is equal to 0, y equal to 1, what happened? 2y y dash. Y is equal to 1, we mean 2 into 1 into y dash minus 0 is equal to y dash. 2y dash is equal to y dash, we mean y dash equal to 0 at x equal to 0. In both the cases, we have what we have, y dash 0 is equal to 0. In the both cases, we have y dash at x equal to 0 is 0. Keep one side. Now we have to find out which option is correct. Y dash at 0 modulus plus y double dash 0 is 3. These are the options. First of all, we have modulus of y dash at 0 is equal to 0. Okay. Y double dash 0, once if you find y double dash 0 also, we can check the options. Again, we have to differentiate this one. 2 times of y double dash plus y dash into y dash whole square minus tan x derivative is secant square x is equals to y double dash. Now I am going to substitute 0, 0. For 0, 0, what happened? X equal to 0, y equal to 0. 2 times of, when y is equal to 0, this becomes 0. Y dash at 0 is also 0. Minus secant 0 is 1. Minus 2 equal to y dash 0. So y double dash 0 is what now? Y double dash 0 is equal to minus 2 for 0, comma 0. Again x equal to 0, y equal to 1, what happened? 2 times of y is 1. Y double dash 0 is what now? Y double dash 0 you are going to find out. Y double dash 0 plus y dash 0 is 0. Minus 2. Secant 0 is 1. 2 into y double dash 0. Y is equals to 1. Your y is equal to 1. Y double dash 0 you have to find out is equals to y double dash 0. So 2 times of y double dash 0 minus 2 is equal to y double dash 0. So y double dash 0 is what? 2. Take y double dash 0 to left side, what happened? 2 minus 1. 1 times of y double dash 0 is equals to 2. So what we obtain? Y double dash 0 is equal to plus or minus 2. So what is the modulus of y double dash 0? 2. Y double dash 0 is 2. So am I correct or not? So the first option is correct option. So this is the problem which is based on calculation also. So we have to differentiate first time and again also you have to differentiate. At the same time, what are the possible values of x and y? At that values you have to find out y dash 0 as well as y double dash 0. So in this manner you can crack this one. See this one? This is the problem. Alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. 1 by alpha, 1 by beta are the roots of the another equation. 2x square plus 2qx plus 1 is equal to 0. Then you have to find out the value of this one. So first of all, you have to write sum of the roots as minus p, and second time you have to use the sum of the roots as 2q. Then which one is possible, for that one you have to check. From the first equation, alpha plus beta, sum of the roots is what here? Minus p. Alpha beta, product of the roots is what? 2. We use the result in this equation. By multiplying first 2, what we obtain? Alpha into beta, alpha beta plus alpha by alpha, that is 1, beta by beta 1 plus 2 plus 1 by alpha beta. The product of the first 2 terms. Then the product of next 2 terms is what? Alpha beta minus into minus plus 1 by alpha beta. Again what happened? Alpha by beta minus beta by alpha. Of alpha by beta plus beta by alpha. What is alpha beta product of the roots here? 2. What is the product of the roots here itself also? 1 by alpha into 1 by beta is nothing but 1 by 2 alpha beta is 2. So sum of the roots may be different for these two. So 1 by alpha, 1 by beta are the roots of this equation, then alpha comma beta are the roots of its reciprocal equation. So what is its reciprocal equation now? 2 by x square minus 2q by x plus 1 equal to 0. We mean x square minus 2qx plus 2 equal to 0. Am I correct or not? So sum of the roots is in terms of q is one time is there, in terms of p is there. We are checking for first p and then go for q. Okay, product of the roots is fixed. From the both equations we have 2. So this is 2 plus 1 by 2. So alpha beta is again 2 plus 1 by 2 minus of alpha square plus beta square. Alpha plus beta whole square. First of all we take alpha plus beta as minus p square means p square minus alpha beta. 2 times of alpha beta, product of the roots is 2 minus 4 by alpha beta is 2. So 4 plus 1 by 2, 9 by 2 into this is 5 by 2 minus p square minus of p square minus 4 by 2. Minus into minus plus p square plus 9 by 2. 9 by 4 times of p square plus 4. This is 9 minus p square by 4. 9 by 2. This is 9 by 2 itself only. 9 by 2, 9, this is 2. 9 minus p square by 4. See the first option. 9 by 4 times of 9 minus p square. Okay. For p itself this is exist. Otherwise what you have to write? Instead of alpha plus beta as minus 2q, alpha plus beta as minus 2q, from that you can calculate the same value that may be in terms of q. So for this problem p itself we obtain. So by writing the reciprocal equation itself, what is alpha plus beta here? Alpha plus beta is equal to 2q. From the first equation alpha plus beta is what? Minus p. For alpha plus beta equal to minus p, this is valid with respect to this first option. 9 by 4 times of 9 minus p square. Understand? See this one. 2 power 1 p naught. Sorry, this is not 2 power 1 p naught. 2 into 1 p naught minus 3 into 2 p1, 4 into 3 p2 and so on up to 51 terms. P naught is not meaning. 2 into 1 p naught minus 3 into 2 p1 plus 4 into 3 p2 and so on up to 51 terms plus 1 factorial minus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial minus 4 factorial and so on up to 51 terms is what? This is the expression. We have to find out the value. See here, 2 times of 1 p naught, that means 1 factorial by 1 minus 0 factorial, that is 1 factorial. 2 into 1 factorial minus 3 into 2 factorial, because 2p1 is nothing but 2 factorial by 2 minus 1 factorial, and plus 4 times of 3p2, 3 factorial by 1 factorial, 4 into 3 factorial plus minus 5 into 4 factorial and so on up to 51th term. 51th term. For first term starts with 2, 3, 4 like that. What will be that 51th term? Here in the first term 1 factorial is there. Here 2 factorial is there. Here 3 factorial is there. In 51th term 51 factorial is there into 52. 52 into 51 factorial. For even numbers positive, so we have to write plus 52 into 51 factorial. This is the value up to now. 2 into 1 p naught minus 3 into 2 p1 plus and so on up to 51 terms. Again, what you have to write? Plus 1 factorial minus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial, 2 into 1 factorial minus 3 into 2 factorial plus 4 into 3 factorial minus 5 into 4 factorial plus and so on up to 52 into 51 factorial plus 1 factorial minus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial minus 4 factorial and so on up to, what is the 51th term? 51 factorial minus 51 factorial. Because minus or plus? 1, 3, 5, odd number plus we have. This is plus. Plus 1 plus 51 factorial. 1 factorial minus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial and so on up to plus 51 factorial you have. Now by adding these two, this is nothing but 3 into 1 factorial minus 4 times of 2 factorial. This is 1 into 2 factorial. Am I correct or not? Minus 3 minus 1. Minus 4 times of 2 factorial. This is plus 5 times of 3 factorial. Minus 6 times of 4 factorial. And so on up to plus 53 times of 51 factorial. Right? We have to find out the summation. This is nothing but sigma r is equal to 1 to 51 r plus 2 into r factorial into minus 1 whole power r minus 1. Am I correct or not? First term is positive. For r is equal to 1, r minus 1 becomes 0, minus 1 power 0 is 1. Now 1 plus 2, 3 into 1 factorial. So everything is exist. Up to 51. 51 plus 2, 53 into 51 minus 1 power 50 is there, that is plus. After this one, sigma r is equal to 1 to 51 r into r factorial plus 2r factorial. This is not 2r factorial, 2 times of r factorial into minus 1 whole power r minus 1. How to crack this one? Once if you know this value, your job is over. R into r factorial can be written as r plus 1 factorial minus r factorial. Sigma r is equal to 1 to 51 r plus 1 factorial minus r factorial plus 2r factorial, 2 times of r factorial into minus 1 whole power r plus 1. Minus 1 whole power r minus 1. So this is nothing but sigma r is equal to 1 to 51 r plus 1 factorial plus r factorial times minus 1 whole to the power of r minus 1. You just expand this one, we obtain the answer. For r is equal to 1, what happened? 2 factorial plus 1 factorial. This is plus. Minus 1 power 1 minus 1 is nothing but minus 1 power 0 plus. Next value minus of, when 2, substitute 2, 2 plus 1, 3 factorial plus 2 factorial. Here in this manner we cancel out 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 3